Forever.
Are we starting yet, Rabbi Green?
Okay. In English, they mean promises.
Morning, Rabbi Green. Rabbi Green, we're first starting now?
We're just getting started with the daf.
Okay.
There's a main. I promise I'll do the thing.
Okay. All right, gentlemen.
So now I can say I.
Okay, All right, let's get to our learning. All right, quickly do the sponsors and then today is the what, the 5th, the 6th? 6th, all right? Okay, so, all right, learning sponsors, Sue and Garelick, in memory of Malka Perman, Philip Mann, Israel W. Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Beryl Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Yosef Meir Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, and Yerivka Pro Rosna Bas Arav Tzvi Hirsch, and in memory of family murdered in the Holocaust, Arav Tzvi Hirsch Ben Shlomo Yaakov, Sarah Ben Ephraim, Israel W. Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Ephraim Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Adina Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Miriam Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Pesel Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Shalom Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Shalom Yaakov Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Shmuel Ben Arav Tzvi Hirsch, Marcia Federbush and family in memory of her husband, Dr. Real Paul Federbush, Real Pinchas Ben Arav Shimon, Sharon and Fred Liska, their family and many friends, in memory of her dear mom, Harriet Friedman, Edel Bas Yaakov, Leslie and Gail Kaplan, in memory of their parents, Harry and Marjorie Sedale, Irving and Pearl Kaplan, friends of Avi Gidler, Avramea Ben Shimon, Martha Gidler, Sharna Bat Yeshaya, children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren of Toby Paris, Saratoga Bat Yisrael Dov in her memory, friends of Malka Levy, Malka Bat Yosef, friends of Joe Wolf, Yosef Ben Chaim, Charlie Gelfenstein and Sam Levine in memory of Ramona Levine, Rachel Mata Bat Asher, friends of Nina Monester, Nechama Azna Bat Yitzchak. We have a month of learning by Melon Haran Haller, in memory of his father Avram Ben Zev, by Lynn Rappaport, in memory of her husband Avram Ben Sion HaKohen. We have a week of learning by Michael and Sharon Glass, in memory of his mother Rivka Yota Bat Yitzchak HaKohen. And we have, and that's it. May Shemras have an aliyah, crank of a few of that, the Yeshua Shem Matzliah, L'chol B'nai Israel, good Gaben Shiyah. Amen. Okay. All right. Okay. Where are we? Vav, right? On Vav Amud Aleph, Amar Rava. That's where we're starting, very top of the Amud. Okay? Amar Rava Ma Bayom Tov Rishon Yitasku Ba. All right, mate Bayom Tov Rishon. The death occurs on the first day of Yontif. Okay? What happens? Yitasku Bo Amamim. Then the people, non-Jews primarily, would be involved in the funeral arrangements. Mate B'Yom Tov Sheni Yitasku Bo Yisrael. On the second day of Yom Tov, Jews may be involved in the arrangements. The dignity of the burial takes precedent, okay, in that case. V'afilu b'shnei yamim tovim shel Rosh Hashanah. Okay, and even the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, Masha Ein Kain B'Beitza, which doesn't apply to the example of the egg. Okay, Nahadai Amrei, the Nahadian said, Af B'Beitza, right? That does apply to the Beitza. The Damadatech, right? That what's their view? Dilma Ma'avre Leila Elu. Okay, that the concerned here that perhaps they would. Elul would be, I don't want to say pregnant, but they would make Elul a Chodesh, a full month. Thank you. Chodesh Me'ubar, a full month of 30 days instead of only 29 days. This was the concern. Okay. Ha, Amar Rav Chinana Barchana, he says, Amar Rav in the name of Rav, Miyamot Ezra Ve'elech, Lo Matzinu Elul Me'ubar. From the time of Ezra, we did not find the month of Elul to be a 30-day month. Okay. Amar Marzutra says Marzutra. Lo Amran Ella the Ishtai. Okay, that was because we said it was delayed. Aval lo Ishtai, when it was delayed, Mishahinamle. Then we would delay it. In other words, it would imply that maybe they might make it 30 days. Rav Ashi Amar says, Rav Ashi, Afal Gav de lo Ishtai, Nami lo Mashinamle. My Tama, even though it may have been delayed. In other words, in this case, the witnesses would be delayed, and therefore you didn't know what to do, right? Okay, maybe we would put it off. What's the reasoning not? Yom Tov Sheni Lagabe Mate.
Rishayin,
That
if
they
he
would-
died on Yontif, or that's what the Gemara is
When
talking
the
about.
guy died, if he
Right.
died
If
like.
You would
not-
put it off, put off the
If
burial.
the guy died
Even if he
Sunday.
died on the second day, you
Talk
don't
about
put it off.
this year.
Right.
Yeah,
If the guy died Sunday afternoon. and
Right.
There's no time to bury him
him
today.
today,
Then you would be able to bury him on the
On-
second day
of
Rosh
Yontif.
Hashanah. But if the guy drops dead.
if he dies on,
Tonight, then
okay,
there
you
would be
gotta
no
wait,
problem of waiting till some.
Gotta wait till-
Nobody's got anything to eat anyway.
right, you gotta, well, the Gemara is basically saying it's like a weekday for the deceased,
Correct.
okay? And so that's the implication,
'Cause he's punished.
okay? So that he would be pushed off. Okay, my Yom Tov Sheni Legabe Meit, Kechol Shavyuha Rabbanan. That the rabbi saw it equal to a non-sacred day. Okay, Afilu Lemigaz Leglima, even to cut the shroud for the deceased, Lemigaz Leasa, or also to cut the myrtle branches that would be put on the bier.
And here Rashi points out, even if there were tachrich,
Right,
but there you have the opportunity to get better ones. You can actually
Actually do
cut
it.
and sew.
okay, right. Amar Ravina says a new piece. Amar Ravina, Ha'idna de'ika chavre chayshinen. Okay, and Ravina is saying, but today, in other words, in their day of Ravina, where there were these chavre, these were the Persian priests of Zoroastrianism, that if they saw the Jews doing certain work for deceased on the second day of Yontif, they were afraid that they would make the Jews do other kinds of work as well. So that's what he's saying here. A new piece. Ravina Hava Yatif Kami de Rav. Ravina was sitting before Rav. Asi, in this case, perhaps.
Ravashi.
Okay. Well,
It's Ravashi.
all right. No, nobody. B'shnei Yamim Tovim Shel Rosh Hashanah. Okay. In other words, regarding these 2 days, right? Chazia Dahavu Atziv. He saw that he was sad. Why? Amarle, he said, Amayatziv Mar. Why is the master sad? Amarle, he said to him, Delo Otive Eruve Tevshilin. He says, because I didn't have enough time to get things together and make an Erev Tevshil. Amarle, he said to him, Velotiv Mar Ha'idna. So why not do it, so to speak, today? Me lo amar Rava, didn't Rava say, Maniach Adam Eruve Tavshilin Miyom Tov L'Chaveiro, that according to Rava, one could arrange the necessary aspects of an Erev Tavshilin, okay, from one Yom Tov to the next day, Umatne, and make a condition. Okay, what was the condition? Condition would be if today is Yom Tov, yesterday was a weekday.
No, if today is really young,
Yontif.
tomorrow is the weekday, and I'll be able to cook for Shabbos.
If today is the
not
Yom Tov,
Tif,
I can
then
cook
I
today,
can make an
today, Erev Tavshilin today
so
for
that I can
tomorrow.
still cook tomorrow.
Okay, all right, so that's the implication. Well, all right, I'll go with that, but the implication also had to do with day before. Amarle, he said to him, Amar, the Amar Rava. So I would say what Rava said, B'shnei Yamim Tovim Shel Galuyot. What about the 2 days observed in Chutz La'aretz, right, outside of the land of Israel? B'shnei Yamim Tovim Shel Rosh Hashanah, Mi Amar. He says maybe he applied that towards the 2 days of outside in Bava. But what about the fact that we hold the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah and we consider that really Yoma Arichta, one whole sanctity in and of itself? Miyamar, did he say that? Vaha Amre Nahadai, Af Beitza Muteret. But here the Nahadayans say that the egg would be permitted. In other words, that again, Rosh Hashanah would be considered more like the other festivals, okay? And that would be one day or the other would be the holiday and not both. That was their view. Amar le Rav Mordechai. And so Rav Mordechai says to him, Beferish Amar li Mar. Specifically, the masters told me, the lo savarla the Nahadai, that he was not of the same opinion as the Nahadayans. Okay, so in other words, that he did hold by the Oma Arich. Right. Etmar. So we say again about this. Efroach shenolad biyom tov. If we have the chick that was hatched on Yom Tov, Rav Amar Asur, he says it's forbidden. Ushmuel v'itema Rabbi Yochanan Amar Mutar. And Shmuel, others say it's Rabbi Yochanan, says it's permitted. Rav Amar Asur, he says that it's forbidden. Muktzahu. Why? Because it's clearly muktzah. It wasn't prepared. Right? Yes, Mike.
Yeah, I just want to comment on this. If this is the same statement. When Rav and Shmuel have a machlokes in Isser v'Heter,
Yeah.
Rav wins.
Wins.
But when Rav and Rabbi Yochanan have a machlokes,
It's usually Rabbi Yochanan, except for the three examples
Right.
we
So
saw
when it
previously.
says, maybe it was Shmuel, maybe it was Rabbi Yochanan. That's
Very
significant.
important. Okay. Okay. So Shmuel v'item Rabbi Yochanan Amar mutar ho'il umatir atzmo b'shchita. Why did he say? Because he argued that it's possible that the animal would ultimately become permissible later on through the result of slaughter. Amre le Rav Kahana, Rav Asi the Rav. So the two of them said to Rav, V'chi ma bein zeh la'egel shenolad b'yom tov. What is the difference then, in this case, between a calf that is born on Yom Tov in our example? Amar lahu, he said to them, Ho'il umuchan agav imo b'shchita. Okay, since what was inside the mother animal when it was slaughtered, it would be considered permissible. Okay, so therefore the egel would be permissible. Uma bein zeh le'egel shenolad min hatreifa. And what's the difference then when from an animal that was birthed from a treifa animal? Shatik Rav. Rav did not say anything. He didn't respond immediately. Amar Rava, says Rava, v'itema Rav Yosef. Others say it was Rav Yosef. Ma'itama, okay. Shatik Rav, what was the reason he was silent? Lema laho, ho'il umuchan agavi mo leklavim. Why didn't he tell them that even if it was from a treifa, that animal could have been cut up or used on Yom Tov and given to dogs? Could have given them that answer. Amar le Abai. So Abai comes back and says to him as follows, right? Hashta muchan la'adam lo have muchan leklavim. Here we're saying that just because it's, I'm going to say, ready, prepared, accessible, okay, for a person, that doesn't necessarily mean it's available, appropriate for dogs. Titnan, as we're taught elsewhere in a Mishnah, mechatchin et hadluyim lefnei habehema ve'et hanavela lefnei haklavim. Okay, that we're saying that one can cut up gourds, okay, for an animal, or one can cut up a nevela for dogs. Okay, what nevela?
Yeah.
Usually it is.
No, unlike the mother of.
Right. This is the response to the treifa issue. Okay, but it says that you could take the carcass of a dead animal, cut it up, and feed it to dogs on Yom Tov. Right? Rabbi Yehuda Omer, he says, Im lo hayta nevela me'erev Shabbat asura. But if it wasn't a carcass from before Shabbos, okay, it would be forbidden. Why? Lefi she'ena min hamuchan, because it's not set aside, it's not prepared. Right?
It's the same as muktzah.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah. Okay.
An animal is muktzah.
Right. So, in other words, they muktzahs mean, or I can't. Muchan leklavim, have muchan la'adam. But that would seem to imply, that if it was available and ready for the dogs, it should have been available and ready for a person. Amarle, yes, he says, and. Okay, what happens? Muchan la'adam lo havi muchan leklavim. Yes, it's possible that something that is available for a person won't be available for dogs. What could it be? The mai dechazi leile inish lo shade leile klavim. That's something that is suitable for people. Okay, we don't toss it to the dogs. Muchan leklavim, but something that is suitable for dogs, havi muchan la'adam, could be suitable for a person. The da'ate, the inish, achal midei dechazile. But the mindset of a person is basically to eat something that is really only suitable for them. Okay? All right? That's, by the way, just as a quick aside, I'm sure Michael, okay, when we talk about certain kinds of foods, what do we define it as a food? Ra'ui la'achilat kelef.
Oh, and that's on Pesach.
Right. Okay, but I'm just saying, we can see now where the Gemara would get that kind of a concept here as well. Okay, all right, let's go on. Tanya Kavate de Rav. So now we teach a Braita according to Rav. Tanya Kavate de Shmuel. Okay, V'itema Rabbi Yochanan. And there's a Braita that teaches it that appears to be according to Shmuel, or we say Rabbi Yochanan. Tanya Kavate de Rav. Let's spell out the Braita, right? Egel shenolad b'yom tov mutar. Okay, if we say this calf that was born on Yom Tov is permitted. Efroach shenolad b'yom tov asur. But a chick that was born on what?
Hatches.
Right. Okay, that was hatched on Yom Tov is forbidden. Uma hefresh ben zeh lezeh. So what's the difference between them? Zeh muchan agavi mo b'shchita. This one is suitable, ready, so to speak, through its mother, because the mother is going to be slaughtered. All right, could be slaughtered on Yom Tov. So therefore, likewise, the chick would be accessible. The calf would be accessible. V'zeh eino muchan agavi mo. And the other is not suitable, accessible, okay, through its mother.
Does that mean you can eat the unborn, the calf that's born through its mother, you can just eat it alive?
No, but it means since
If
the
you
mother is
shecht the mother,
shechted,
you can just chop up.
you
the
could
baby.
just then take the calf, okay, after it's born, okay, and
No.
then what?
Before, if the mother is pregnant and you shecht her,
Right,
then the calf.
calf is considered
like a leg or
a part of the body of the animal and therefore could be used.
You just have to soak in salt.
Okay,
But you still have to perform you still have to kill the calf.
Yeah, but you don't have to shecht.
you won't have to perform a actual halachic act of shechita.
But then you can't eat Abram and a thigh from the calf.
Right.
No.
Okay, v'itema Rabbi Yochanan, and others like Egel shenolad b'yom tov mutar, right? If ve'afrach shenolad b'yom tov mutar, my tama. Okay, so we're now back to the second approach, the second Braita. What is it? Why does he say it's permitted? Right? Zeh muchan agav imo v'zeh matir atzmo b'shchita. Okay, so that's his argument. Okay, that this one is permitted through the mother, and this one would be permitted ultimately itself by shchita. Okay, getting to a new piece in the Gemara. Tana Rabbanan, a new Braita. Efroach shenolad b'yom tov. Okay, this chick that has been hatched, okay, on Yom Tov, asur, is forbidden. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov Omer, he says, af bechol asur. Even on a weekday, it should be forbidden. Lafi shelo nitpatchu einav, right? Because it's possible that it didn't open up its eyes, implying that if it didn't open its eyes yet, it's almost like a sheretz, okay, in that again, okay, in that situation, right? Okay, keman azla hadatanya. So therefore, according to whom does the following Braita go? L'chol hasheretz, hashoretz el haaretz. Okay, based on that pasuk, what do we include? the Rabbot Efrochim Shalo Nitpatchu Einehem. That this also is going to include those small chicks that didn't open up their eyes. Keman, according to whom? Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Okay. Again, new topic for our Gemara. Amar Rav Huna Amar Rav. He says as follows. Beitza im yetziata nigmara. Okay. Mai. Right? Im yetziata nigmara. Okay. An egg, and that it has come out, I want to say completed in the shell, right? Finished. Okay. What does it mean when we say that the egg has come out completed? Okay. Ilema, okay, im yetziata nigmara umateret la'achila b'chalab. If you're saying that when the egg comes out, it's completed and therefore it's okay, going to be able to be eaten with milk. Okay, in other words, that it's right. Part. Ha b'mai ima asura la'achla b'chalav. Does that imply that when it's in the internal organs of the mother animal, it's forbidden to eat with milk? Vahatanya. But aren't we taught elsewhere in a Braita? Hashochet et hatarnagolet. One who slaughters a chicken. Umatzah ba'beitzim gmurot, and finds in it completed whole eggs, right? Completed eggs.
The yolk is completed,
Right.
that's
Okay.
all.
Now, doesn't mean that the shell is on it.
Even the albumin, just a large, fully
Okay.
developed yolk.
Right? Mutarot la'achlan b'chalav, that it's permitted to eat these with milk.
Period. On that
Okay.
question.
I don't know. My text had a question. Ela im yetziata nigmara umuteret la'ochla b'yom tov. But what about the rather if it came out and it was completed then on Yom Tov? Is it permitted to be eaten? Ha b'me'ei ima asura la'achla b'yom tov. This would seem to imply, being the question, does it in the internal, while it's still inside, is it forbidden to be eaten on Yom Tov? Right? So we go on Vahatanya, but out here, aren't we taught the following Braita? Hashochedet hatarnagolet umatzah ba'beitzim gmurot. One who slaughters the chicken and finds these completed eggs. Mutarot la'achlan b'yom tov. That it's permitted to eat them on Yom Tov. V'chi tema. And if you want to say, kamash malam, the Braita, that what the Braita is coming to teach us. Mai de lo ashma'inin b'matnitin. It is different from what it comes to tell us in the Mishnah, right? Ha nami tanina. Here, this also comes to teach. Beitza shel nolda b'yom tov. When it's the egg that has been hatched on Yom Tov, okay? Leg, all right? Beit Shammai omrim te'achel. Beit Shammai says it's permissible to be eaten. Ubeit Hillel omrim lo te'achel. And Beit Hillel says it's not permissible to be eaten. V'ad kan lo plige Beit Shammai uBeit Hillel ela benolda. Okay, but here they only argue in regards to the egg that was
Came out of the chicken.
laid on the chicken on that day. Aval b'me'ei iman. But while the egg is still inside the chicken, divrei hakol shayan. Everybody agrees it is permitted. V'chitema, and if you want to say, Beit Hillel afilu b'ma'ei iman nami asrei, that Beit Hillel holds by the idea that even when it's inside the chicken, okay, it is forbidden. V'hadikatani nolda, but here by the fact that it teaches that it was laid that day, lahodiacha kochan the Beit Shammai, the afilu nolda nami shalu. This is to show the strength of the position of Beit Shammai, namely that even when it is laid on Yom Tov, they still permit it. Ella rather, says the Gemara, Hadatanya hashochet et haner negolet, umatzaba beitzim gmurot mutarot lachlan b'yom tov. Money. But here, our Braita is teaching us that one who slaughters the chicken and finds in it completed eggs, it's permitted to eat it on Yom Tov. According to whom? Lo Beit Shammai velo Beit Hillel. It's neither the Beit Shammai nor Beit Hillel. Okay, so the Gemara then tells us, Ella rather, im yetziata nigmara umegadelet efrochim. If from its exit, okay, it's completed, and there ultimately grows from it, from the eggs, chicks, b'mai ima, regarding it being still inside the animal, mother animal, eina megadelet efrochim. There it won't grow chicks. Okay, it's an egg that hasn't been not able to produce chicks because it's not fertilized. Lamai nafkamina. What's the difference? Lamekach umemkar. It's for commerce issues. Okay, that's where there was a big difference. Kihahu da'amar laho, like one once said. Okay, be'e the pachia laman. Okay. Okay, namely eggs of a cackling animal, according to whom? Okay, does that go? Yahavule be'e dishchuta. Okay, ata lakame de Rabbi Ami, and that's where we're gonna. Okay, amar laho mekach ta'utu v'hadar pshita mahu detem. Okay, so in other words, if you wanted to buy if you wanted to buy a chicken for eggs, all right. All right, what's the situation? And you feel
You want to buy fertilized eggs.
right. Well, the chicken that has eggs that can produce eggs or produce chicks, but all it did is produce eggs. You've got a mekach talmud. All right, and that, as I said, that's what. That's right. Very true.
Chicken came first. God made all the animals.
All right. Okay. Have a good Yontif, Mom. Be well.
Thank you very much. You too. Sei gesund to everyone. Ksiva Simatov.
Okay.
There's people I probably won't be seeing you for a couple months.
What do you mean, a
You're
couple months?
leaving us? But you just got here.
What, you're going back after Rosh Hashanah? Oh, you're gonna drive direct, oh, okay. Daf tomorrow is I think like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm guessing.
You're not doing.
Actually, I am doing tomorrow, and David is gonna do second day Rosh Hashanah.
You're not doing. I think actually it's
6 o'clock? That could be. Okay. I've gotta look at it. I've done it.
everybody have a terrific Erev Yom Tov.
You caught the other day, you asked, you called it for a Yomi, is that a day of learning here? Okay, so I know it is in a different context. That's fine. I know it is, when they have, when we have a group that meets and they spend a day on a particular subject.
Uh-huh.
So that's why. We have one for up there, and we'll switch it over for Shabbos too.
You should check if there, you looked all underneath here and underneath there. What about upstairs? Did you look upstairs?
Yeah, I looked upstairs, it's out in there. Unless it's somewhere else, which I can't.
But you found one for upstairs.
Yeah. And we got a bigger shulchan. We moved the shulchan. There were 2 shulchanos, and we moved the bigger one so it can handle it bigger. So that was good. Well, actually, they're gonna have the early minion, except for we're gonna have the early minion.
Still being here.
Until Yom Kippur, right?
But the
Like Thursday, Friday,
I don't know what
Shabbos.
they're gonna do Thursday.
They
Are they
better
gonna-
roof upstairs, it's all set up upstairs,
You better check with the rabbi where they're gonna have. it.
it's
Yeah.
all set up there.
I mean,
maybe
that
we
makes
don't have-
sense. That makes sense.
They don't always do it.
I think so. I have no problem.
Do tomorrow. Okay. We got invited out for lunch. After listening to Lashon Hara, you know.
Why on Pesach? We run around in circles buying eggs before Pesach. but we don't buy them during Pesach. Are you familiar with that?
I think it was,
They
I always wondered,
make a
I
big
think-
deal that buy the eggs before Pesach. Can't buy eggs during Holocaust. I think.
milk, there's a reason, because you buy the milk because you want to be able to rely on being Baal Bashishim before Pesach. If there were any chametz in the milk, it's Baal Bashishim. But if you don't, if you buy milk on Chol Hamoed, it could be problematic because there's no, for chametz, there's no button. Okay, that's the issue for milk. But for eggs and Pesach, I don't know. It's an interesting question. See if I can find anything about it. I don't ever remember seeing something written about it either. But, you know, people do it, I think, I wonder if they do it primarily just as they baking or that much, you know, preparation, all those kinds of things. I think Zev is in the men's room. Today's Labor Day for many people. It's a different holiday.
You have no idea what Arab
Listen, I'm sure that you could have used extra help in the store in the Arab restaurant, right?
The problem is, if they're not trained, if they don't know, if you have to keep telling them what to do,
They're
I
not.
try to do it myself and get it done faster than, by the time I finish explaining it to them, I get it done.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Bruce, you didn't put that all up by yourself, did you? Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Hi, everyone. Me. Oh, not right now. I mean. What is it that has to be part of it? Wait till I finish breakfast. I was gonna grab a quick breakfast.
I mean, there's a piece of toast in the toaster, you want me to have it. But it's cold right now. All right, I see that. So I was, I reached, I called mother, and there, they were finishing up with their, they finishing up their meeting. So we come out and see it, so I did it. While I was doing it, I dropped it. So, so let's see. Oh, no, no, and then. So that's what I did, and so the next thing, talking to car, after the. That's great. And, anyway, so, when we got to the conversation, when we felt it was, oh, yeah. Except for in the class. Second floor corner, right above B in C, in building C. Mm, okay.